What's going on, guys? I'm back. It's your boy, Coach D. Welcome to another episode of the Starting Five. As always, brought to you from the SC Media Christian Network, where our job is to always bring you fresh and inspirational content. It's good to be back with you guys for another podcast. But as always, before we get started, I'd like to give you a nice scripture. So this week, opening scripture comes from 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 3. But the Lord is faithful. He will establish you and guard you against the evil one. Amen. And you really need to hear that more than any time this week. Because to be honest with you, I'm normally got that overwhelming energy and joy. But this week I had to be honest with you, brothers and sisters. I'm a little upset. And I'm just flat out angry, to be honest with you. Not even a little upset. And my heart is heavy, for the Floyd family. Brother George Floyd. And as everybody's aware, the brother who was murdered by the Minneapolis Police Department a few days ago, with the officer holding him down with his knee on his throat and basically suffocating the man till his last breath. And, later to find out that there's a bit of a sports connection with former pro basketball player Steven Jackson. Played with the Warriors and the Spurs and Charlotte Hornets for a few teams, now in the Big Three, and he does some media for ESPN and Fox Sports. And to find out there's a little relation there. But as far as I was concerned, that didn't change my level of compassion for the story at all. I didn't need for George to be co-signed for humanity to be a concern for me, to just flat out see a black man treated that way in the middle of the street like a dog just bothered my spirit. And it just got me to feeling a way where I just don't understand when we're going to ever find a way to have common ground and find a way to resolve issues with black men without them being murdered. Because I find myself watching videos and seeing content where others get into disputes with white folks, with officers, and they find a way to resolve these situations without people losing their life. But for whatever reason, when black folks are involved, especially black men, it's got to always be ending in death. Like we can never resolve. It's like the moment you get that call, I feel like the antennas go up and they done already decided, we're probably going to kill this guy. We're probably going to kill this guy. Because when I watch that man's face, as he has his knee on that man's throat, and it don't bother him one bit that he is taking the life out that man. The man was literally yelling, "I cannot breathe." And then got to the point where he was gasping for air that he can't breathe. That you have no humanity? That didn't bother you one bit. And to see that there was 3 other officers who stood there in live time and just let it happen. Now I seen, we've since found out over a couple of days, they've supposedly been terminated. They've been all fired or whatever. But that's not enough. Those men need to be brought up on charges. All 4 of them, those officers. Because I'm going to tell you something, man. I wish Christians had the same type of faith and trust in each other as officers do with that blue line. Boy, if we roll for God the way they ride for that blue line, boy, there ain't nothing we couldn't do. If Christians rode for God the way police ride for that blue wall, or the blue line, or whatever they call it, man, it wouldn't be, man, we couldn't be stopped. Because they won't break that thing for nothing. They will be silent. They won't act on it. They won't speak against it. They could clearly see wrong. As you can clearly see in that video, that man was wrong. And they will stand there and not say one word. Nobody will speak against it. Nobody will try to come against it, or it'll be an issue. It'll be a serious issue. But it just made me take another look at it too, from another perspective when I was watching it. And this is one thing that's always been a hard contradiction for me when I think about my love for sports and then life, and then the way blacks are treated in real life. It's always fascinated me how white folks are crazy about our athletes and act like they mean everything to them. But police would kill their nephew or brother dead and wouldn't think twice about it, and would justify it with bogus accusations and slandering their name. And that's always fascinated me to death. You hear fight. We just been watching The Last Dance, and white folks love, as much as blacks love Michael Jordan, white folks can't get enough of Michael Jordan. Can't get enough of him. Can't get enough of him. But when his father was murdered, they came up with every type of justification and foul commentary they could think of. But they love Michael Jordan. They love Michael Jordan. But they'll do all type of the foul and unseedy things to somebody that they don't know who looks just like him, because he can't warrant that level of love and just common humanity. Walter Payton, I grew up as a kid in this town. People love Walter Payton. When Walter was battling cancer and having his issues with I want to say it was his kidney or whatever, it was breaking white folks' heart as well as blacks' heart. But they would murder his nephew if they didn't know him in Lake Forest where Walter lived. If the police shot his nephew because they didn't know that was Walter's nephew, nobody would bat an eye. Nobody would bat an eye. And that's always been crazy to me, because so basically how I feel like it works is, if I can entertain you, my life matters. That's the only way how this thing works. As long as I can entertain you, you got value for my life. If I can make you laugh, if I can make you smile, if I can make you happy. But if I'm just an honest, hard-working person, or just a non-working person who just walking around the streets of wherever I live, my life don't have no value to you. Only if I can entertain you as a black man do my life matter to you. That's the only ones that seem, in my opinion, the way it mattered to you all. You know, Kobe, we lost Kobe at the top of the year, and all the outpour and adulation for Kobe, and which was deserving, and how folks, but so many white people just brokenhearted. Oh my God, I can't believe it. And his daughter, and this and that. But if Kobe nephew or cousin was gunned down, you wouldn't bat an eye. Wrongfully shot, you wouldn't bat an eye. Same country, wouldn't bat an eye. Wouldn't bat an eye. You wouldn't act like it mattered to you one bit. Only the black that entertains you. It's only the black man that can make you laugh, that can make you feel good. He the only one it matters to you. Please don't hurt him. Don't hurt him. He makes me laugh. He makes me feel good. Well, what about the mother folks who just want to work and just want to provide for their family, or just want to live? You know, they're just living every day like anybody else is in America. There's plenty of white kids that walk around in America that's not providing for nobody. They're just walking up and down streets living. And we find a way not to murder them because of wrongful suspicion or he made a move. I saw a video, I don't know who posted it not too long ago on Facebook. It was a whole interaction where the man was not only tumbling, going back and forth with a couple of officers, they fell on the ground, scuffling. He messes around and jumps in a police vehicle and takes off down the street. Now understand, at no time was a weapon drawn. But every time y'all approach blacks, you automatically, weapons drawn, you automatically talking hostile, you automatically being confrontational, you automatically taking this approach of, I'm about to take you out. You come with a whole different energy. And it's just sick and tired, man. We are taxpayers of this country. We built this country. We deserve better than that from police. And with all that being said, I gotta stress this to my people. You can't take vengeance, folks. We can't take vengeance. I know it feel good. I know you feel like it'll make you feel better to just hit somebody in the mouth. I want to bust somebody in the mouth, but that ain't God's way. It's not God's way. I know it'll make you feel better. You feel like you want to put paws on somebody. I want to put the paws on somebody too. You want somebody to get it, but that ain't God's way. But it don't change how much it aggravates you when you see these wrongful things being done to us. It don't change how much it aggravates you. And you just get tired of seeing it time and time again. Time again. We get mistreated. It's always a misunderstanding with us. It's never gonna be a benefit of the doubt. It's always a misunderstanding with us. But like I said, we got this weird thing. Jay-Z, God bless his brother, former drug dealer. Used to deal drugs in the hood and he's rapped about it and all these different things. And white folk won't see no harm come his way. They sell out his shows. They buy his music. They buy his product. But his nephew, they'd murder him dead and wouldn't think twice about it and would try to justify why they did it. And wouldn't bat an eye that they was wrong about it, if it was a wrongful death. Like, that's always made me crazy. Because whites are not allowed, we don't treat other folks like that. They're not treated that way. They're allowed to just be. White people don't have to always be about something. You know, that's the whole crazy thing about black people. It's always like, we always take this attitude. Make sure you look like you're doing something. Make sure you look like you're about something. You know what I mean? Regular, just random white folk just be walking around and don't nobody bother them. But the random brother, we just got to murder him, though, because he a threat. He dangerous. He a threat. You know, I got an 11-year-old son. And he not quite at that age where right now he still do everything with me and his mother. But it's going to come a time where he becomes a young man that he going to start doing things with his friends. And the scary part to me is I don't have a definitive message to tell my boy of how to keep himself safe out there in the world. Because you can do everything and be compliant and end up dead. You could be a child of God and love God and be faithful and go to church and be there and be part of the youth ministry and end up dead because of the behavior and the wrongful actions of a police officer. Like, it's just like that. You could be all that and end up dead because some officer is just that type of guy or lady. And that's just how they treat us, and that's how they believe we ought to be treated. Your son ain't did nothing wrong, you know, because God forbid he knew his rights. You know, that's the other crazy thing about blacks. We're the only people that's not allowed to speak our rights. We can know our rights, but we can't speak ours. Other folks speak their rights. You ever talk to a civil rights attorney? Talk to a civil rights attorney and listen to the advice they give you for minorities. They basically tell you, let yourself be totally violated, let yourself be totally mistreated, and then deal with it on the back end. So it's essentially the equivalency it's almost like to the degree of allow yourself to be assaulted. It's like to almost tell a woman, allow yourself to be sexually assaulted, let the act take place, and then report the situation. Let yourself be completely violated. Don't do anything, don't give any pushback. We would never do that, would we? We would never tell a woman to allow yourself to be completely violated. Allow the man to have his total way with you, and when he's done with you, then go make your police report and go through the channels of trying to report that man. But that's what we basically tell blacks. We tell blacks to allow ourselves to be completely violated. Allow America to have their total way with you. Do whatever they desire to do to you. And then when they're done with you and they feel like they've had enough of you in that moment, then you turn around and take action or try to report that individual. Man, you chew on that for a little bit. And I know, once again, with all that being said, we still can't take vengeance. And that's tough, man. That's a tough position to be in. But it don't change God. Because God got the answers for all scenarios. And it's hard to believe that at times. I know. It tests your faith. I know. But you have to allow him to have the final say in these situations. But what I will suggest to folks is become more knowledgeable. Let us become more educated as a community and as a people, and get out there and effect change in regards to laws and speak out of wrongful doing to the most of your ability. Pull your cameras out all the time. When you see something not right, if you get a sign that police are interacting with some young people and it look like it's not right, pull your camera out. Pull your camera out, record them. Put them out there as much as you possibly can. Let them have a little bit of uncomfort. Put them in a little bit of position of a discomfort. As much as you can within your rights. Stay in your legal boundaries, but do what you can do. Do what you can do. But do our part to affect change. Let's not just sit on our hands and complain. Let's do our best part to affect change. To put them out there, try to change policies that definitely try to railroad people in our community. Do everything we can do to the best of our ability. Because this got to change, man. This got to change. I don't even talk about it's 2020 and we still talking about race. We were still talking about race 2019, so ain't nothing changed from the sense of race. But it just get tiresome, man. And when I see whether it was Ahmaud Arbery or now recently with Brother Floyd, it just enough is enough. Like, we just keep treating us like dogs. But you love all these other folks. You don't know them no more than you know those people. You didn't know Kobe Bryant. You knew what he did on the basketball floor, but you didn't know him. But you didn't know George Floyd. You didn't know George. You didn't know Walter Payton. You just saw him play football. But you could have all this love for him. All of this humanity. Love his son. Y'all rave about his wife and his daughter. I see his daughter. She been working in the media and things of that nature. His son has gotten opportunities in television and radio off his father's name and all that. All because of Walter Payton. But you can't have love for somebody. But when it comes to a black man or a black woman that you don't know, you can't find that type of love for them. You can't find a love for them just from a nature of humanity, from a position of humanity, man. Like, I shouldn't have to be entertaining you just for you to love me or for you to at least give me a level of humanity. You know, when I go out in the world, I'm going to be polite because for polite's sake. How you doing? Good morning. It's not that you make me laugh or you tell me jokes and then I'm going to speak to you. It's about just being just a human being and a decent person. That's all this about, man. You know, so, you know, I know we upset people, and I'm not going to tell you it's going to get better overnight because it ain't got better in 400 years almost. So, but just stay encouraged, saints. Be encouraged. And to the people in Minneapolis, let's cut the looting and stuff out. Don't give them no more ammunition because it just confirms a bias that's all we're about anyway. Don't tear up our community. Don't do that. Don't waste your time doing all that foolishness. And some folks just out there taking shirts for giggles and kicks. They're not even about the cause. So don't do that. Don't tear up and burn down your community. Stop the looting. I know you're upset, but don't do that. You know. But I'm going to leave you with one last scripture before I go for this week, just to try to give you a little bit of encouragement to hold on to for those who know the Lord, and if you don't know the Lord, to get to know the Lord. This comes from Psalms chapter 118, verse 14. The Lord is my strength and my song. He has become now my salvation. And just hold on with that, folks. Keep that tight by you. Believe in that. It's true today as it was always. God is still in control, folks. I know that's hard to believe sometimes when you're watching the outcome, but God is still in control. Always going to be in control and will always ultimately have the final say. That's it from the Starting Five podcast. I'm Coach D. Till next week. God bless. Stay safe.